Hello and welcome to the Miskatonic Playhouse. I'm Steve Anderson, and today I'll be your keeper as we explore Orlando Moreira's best-selling scenario, Kane's Tone. We are triply fortunate today. Not only are all three of our players fantastic, role players and storytellers, they've all successfully written community content like the kind of stuff that we run here on the channel. So I'd like to ask you each three questions, and I know I'm blindsiding, but bear with me. So number one, obviously, who are you? Number two, where can people find you? Number three, just for fun, what is your worst piece of advice you can give somebody who's thinking about writing their own first scenario? Feel free to be silly if you like. Let's start with Rina.
Hi, y'all. I am Rina, also known as the Inevitable Rina. I am the head of Mythos Horror from the Old Ways podcast, and I write lots and lots and lots of scary things. So, let's see. Last question. Worst piece of advice. Worst piece of advice I can give is to go and look at what you think people are going to buy. Look for what's sellable. Look for the most marketable thing. Just figure out what you think people are really going to buy and make that. That's the only thing you should take into consideration when you are writing a scenario.
Okay. Alandra.
Hi, I am Alandra Heilman, aka Lady Bedivere. You can usually find me over on Quests and Chaos or the Majestic Goose Network. I've also played before with Torpid Gaming Network. Most of my writing has been from a playwriting standpoint, and so in that case, I'm going to just say, converting that to gaming, be as rigid as humanly possible. Do not allow for any exploration or improvisation ever. Your word is law. And you should absolutely never let anyone deviate from what you have in your head.
Okay, and Heather.
Hi, everybody. I'm Heather Ashcraft, otherwise known as ValyGirl Heather on all the socials. I am a TTRPG and live action designer and creator. I'm also an actual play actor. You can find me here on the Playhouse as well as on Lightless Beacons, the Old Ways podcast, and Symphony Entertainment. I almost forgot that one. Worst piece of advice?
The edge of our seats here.
Worst piece of advice?
Please, please.
An awkward place.
You froze up, Heather.
I did. I am so sorry. I don't know what happened. Just, yeah, if it doesn't work the first time, you just toss it out and just start again and just do something totally different and everything else. So please don't take that advice. Please don't take it.
And I'm Steve Anderson. You can find me online at Tall Halfling, sometimes Tall Halfling RPG. You can find me here at the Playhouse, usually in one of those windows over there, sometimes backstage doing production and video production and podcast editing and such. I think I would just add, whatever you do, never, ever, ever share your scenario in progress with anybody until it is absolutely perfect. Don't do any discussion until then. Don't do any play testing until then. Absolute perfection is the only thing you should settle for. Okay. So with that behind us, gonna go ahead and dive in. Eagle-eyed viewers may have noticed the overlay does not identify who's playing what. Well, I'll explain that in just a minute. So, it's dark. You awake amid trees. Your head throbs. You feel pain all over your body. You're lying on the ground, on a carpet of soft pine needles. Your clothes are ruffled and torn. Your hands have minor cuts and scratches. It's cold. The air smells of resin and ozone. You don't remember where you are or why you're here. You don't know who any of these other people are. Come to think of it, you also don't know who you are. So as you're looking around at each other, Heather, what do we see? Okay, Heather's frozen again. Rina, go ahead.
Okay. You see a lanky, blue-eyed man. He's very skinny, kind of disheveled. He's got a week's worth of scruff. He's wearing a police uniform, which is too big for him, and he looks like he's about to panic.
Good. Heather seems to have unfrozen. What do we see?
That's weird. So I raise myself up onto my elbows and I look around, and outside of the field, off to one side, is a large cornfield. But it looks like it's already been well picked over. And beyond that, a line of trees in the farther distance. And it's a bit cold.
Sorry. Meaning, what do we see as we're looking at each other? What does your character look like? Which you do have.
So I am an African American man in his early 30s. My goatee probably has a few bits and pieces that I'm brushing out. Old grass. My fleece sweater and jeans I'm grateful for. It's a little bit warmer, but my Nike Air Jordans, Spider-Man, high top sneakers, which I'm pretty sure I paid a pretty penny for, maybe, because they look pretty custom, but they're all scuffed and there's a little bit of tearing on one side. As I brush off my fleece sweater, I notice I have a Casio calculator wristwatch on one arm. Do I have a time on my watch?
Any electronics you've got on you seem to have stopped. The watch stopped at is it digital or is it mechanical? We're going to go ahead and say at least one of you has an actual mechanical part to your watch. Stopped 7:30. Given that it's dark, you're assuming in the evening. And Alandra, when we look over your way, what do we see?
You see slowly sitting up a very beautiful blonde-haired woman who was very elegant in a cocktail dress, incredibly expensive dress, expensive watch, but is now quite disheveled, hair tumbling down, dresses torn, barefoot, which is not the correct look for the rest of this outfit. So not sure where those went, but hopefully we'll find out. And just a bit groggy and concerned, trying to assess what's going on.
Okay. And as you're grasping for whatever you can find, kind of like trying to remember a dream after you've woken up, you do come up with something. It's not, you wouldn't call it a memory, more like a memory of a memory. Mechanically, we're going to call them thought echoes. And you can go ahead and open your first one. And to our audience, while our players are reading, just note that Call of Cthulhu is, as always, a horror game. This particular scenario involves memory loss, identity, potentially PvP, depending on how things go. So, of course, we have safety tools in place to make sure everybody at the table is comfortable and safe. And we hope you feel the same way. So as you're grasping onto that one little nibble, what would you like to do?
Sort of startle back, feeling down my side where if I'm in a police officer's uniform, I had a gun. I should have a gun. Checking to see if my gun's still there, and just kind of pull my gun and waving it around wildly, who the hell are you? Where are we? What did you do to me? Who the hell are you?
Okay, I don't think we need to be doing that right now. That seems a little unnecessary, don't you think?
Hey, what the hell is going on? Who are you? Who are you? Where the hell are we?
Well, I'm asking you. I don't know.
I don't, I mean, I'm,
Those of you looking closely might notice that the police uniform does include a badge, which does have a name on it. It's the only name any of you have available.
I see, officer. You do have a badge. Do you also have other identification on you or something? I would assume I'd have a purse, but I don't seem to be able to find one. As I'm sort of going to frantically look around myself, I think probably find my iPhone and immediately start seeing if I can get it to turn on, which I'm
Yeah, it's a
sure will
brick.
not.
It's-
and
Yeah,
seeing them do that, I pull out. Oh, wait, hold. Damn it, it's dead.
Fumble with one hand for my badge. Like, oh, right, yeah, I should have a badge. Yes, that is a thing. And I fumble for it and pull it out and look at it, and the name says Stephen Jameson. Which I look at that name and I look down at myself and look back at the badge. Just, is this feeling anything like mine? Striking any chords?
It's all you've got. It doesn't necessarily feel familiar. Just any port in a storm, I guess.
Hey, I think my name is Steven. I think it's the closest thing I've got right now. What about the rest of you people?
I'm pulling out anything I can find in my pockets to see if anything has a name or initials or anything on anything that would identify.
Nothing that's jogging anything at the moment.
I think it's nothing.
No wallet, no. I don't know why I'd be a wallet, but I've got. I pull out a set of keys, very fancy looking keys with a Super Mario key ring. Huh. Spider-Man shoes, Super Mario. Well, I guess I'm a nerd. Somehow I'm okay with that, I think.
That's not very helpful in this situation.
No?
Nerds are useless.
Oh,
No computers for you to work on.
Sorry. Is anyone bleeding? And I'm gonna get up kind of very abruptly as I've been kind of fumbling around looking for a purse near me, assuming that I would have to have one with this dress. And instead, I have found a bloodied knife that was right near my iPhone.
Oh my goodness. And I just start examining myself to see if I find any slashes or cuts or don't think I feel any pain.
You can all give me well, I would ordinarily ask for a spot hidden. I'm going to ask for a D100. For our audience, our players do not, in fact, yet have character sheets, so they don't know what they're good at. And Alandra, you can take a bonus die. In other systems, basically advantage.
009.
Okay.
Well, the geek has an 8.
68.
Okay. So Rina and Heather, you're looking at this bloody knife. You're looking around. You do notice some other drops of blood, and now that you're looking, you're seeing some bare footprints going with them. You're on a path. On one direction seems to lead further into the forest. The other maybe out of the forest. At least there seems to be a little bit more space. These bare footprints are leading deeper into the forest.
There looks like there might have been somebody else here. Yeah, look. You can see them. They go that direction.
I want to look at the soles of my feet. Are my feet, because I am barefoot, which again would not be how I would have worn this dress. Are the soles of my feet dirty, like I've been running around without my shoes?
Well, they're dirty, which makes sense for, walking around on where you are. They don't seem to be a good match for the footprints,
Okay.
though.
That's something.
Maybe looking down at the bloody knife. Maybe they're hurt. And my hands are shaking as I'm still holding my gun, not pointing it at anyone right now, but still shaking and like trembling a little bit, wide-eyed, remembering something that I don't. Nope. Nope, we're not going down that path right now. We should follow the footprints, right? At the very least, it's a way out of wherever here is. And if someone's hurt, we need to maybe help them.
I'm fine with not staying here, at least. I'm gonna tear off like an edge of my already ripped dress hem and use that to kind of wrap around the handle of the knife and pick it up, because I don't feel like we should leave that just lying around.
I feel rather uncomfortable between a woman with a bloody knife and a police officer with shaky hands and a firearm. So yeah, I'd like to get out of here. I think I'd like to be away.
Okay.
Kinda.
So are you following the prints, or are you heading toward where it seems to open up?
Following the prints, at least that's what I'm doing.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's the direction I would probably want to go.
Okay. Alandra, you're coming along?
Yes, and I'm going to make sure that I'm going to catch the eye of my new nerd friend and kind of give the cue of hang back to let Steven with his shaky hands and his gun be in front of us.
I understand that. So you're following the footsteps, the occasional drops of blood, as you weave your way a little bit deeper into the forest. The canopy of leaves gets a little bit thicker, and at this time in the evening, that means it's getting not dark, but certainly dimmer. It's not exactly making you feel more at ease. And eventually, you find your way to a small clearing where you find a man sitting, leaning against a tree, middle-aged, 40-ish maybe, short curly gray hair, white t-shirt, tan jacket over it. He's sitting leaning against the tree, faced away from you. So you're catching a glimpse of him across the clearing.
Sir? Sir, are you okay?
Hey, buddy, you all right? Oh, this isn't good.
Do you approach?
Well, you're
Approach
the
with caution.
let the police officer go first.
Okay. So you're stepping a little bit closer. You're starting to notice some of the leaves around him are wet. As you step up to him, his eyes are open, gazing up toward where the sky is beyond the leaves. He is very dead and with multiple stab wounds.
Oh. So
Or bad O?
he's dead.
Oh,
Exactly. I'm gonna cautiously kneel down next to him and start checking his pockets and so on, looking to see if I can find anything, ID or any hint of who he might be, or maybe he took our stuff because he was trying to get away. So maybe he has some of our ID or anything. Maybe he has a working phone. I don't know.
So you do find his cell phone. It's bricked like all of yours. But on the back of the case, you do see his words. His monogram. Initials appear to be MS.
MS.
Doesn't ring any bells at the moment.
MS. No.
So was he shot, stabbed, just heart attack? Why you're looting the body there? So
He was stabbed, and I'm checking to see if there's anything that can ID him or us or anything. You know, trying to be helpful instead of standing around project managing.
hey, oh no, that wasn't managing, just curious. And as my eyes keep going towards the blonde with the knife, just wanting to know, just checking, ha, looting the body, geek, right, yeah. I'm just gonna stand over. I'm gonna go look over here and see if there's anything over on this side of the clearing. I'm gonna go search that way. They're that way. I'm going that way.
I think I will pick up a little bit of the vibe and also kind of, move out. So we've got a little bit of a triangle going of distance from everyone. Is it still light enough out that I can kind of? It's still light enough out that we can kind of examine what we've got on us, little as it is,
Yeah.
right?
Think dusk rather than dark.
Okay, sure. As I see our police officer friend kind of checking pockets and looking at the guy's phone, I am also going to have the thought of taking my non-working watch, which is a very expensive watch, and I'm going to try to flip it over and see if I have initials or a monogram or an inscription on the back of this watch that might give me a clue about who I am.
There is an engraving on the back of your watch. Trying to think how to describe. It's not letters. It might be like an atom with an electron orbiting. Could be a planet orbiting around the sun. But that's the general vibe.
But it's some sort of symbol or
Yeah.
pictorial more so than it is. Okay, great. I will continue kind of looking around this clearing and keeping an eye on my companions.
Okay. You can all give me another D100 for a spot hidden. We'll see how this goes.
69. Nice.
23.
37 in a row.
Okay. So I think, Rina, you're still focused on the body. You are very confident you're finding everything meaningful there is to find. Alandra, you're peering off into the deeper into the woods, not seeing anything particularly eye-catching. Heather, you swear you catch the glimmer of yellow eyes in the trees. A pair of them.
Oh, Hey, back up. Guys, uh, hey, I don't think we're alone out here. There's something out there. Am I hearing any footsteps, growling, any indications of what those eyes are attached to?
Purely based on like size and height off the ground, you're thinking animal rather than, you know, giant eldritch beast.
Right. I'm thinking it's probably like a wild dog or a coyote or something along those lines. I mean, that would be the best guess, but still, I kind of back up into the middle of the clearing. Hey, hey, cop, you've got a gun? We
Yes.
and I kind of like indicate in that direction. I think we got some kind of coyote or some wild dog or something out there.
Okay. Well, we don't want to go in that direction. You want to keep quiet. Don't make any sudden startled movements. I'm just spouting off things that I remember without knowing how I remember them about how to deal with wild animals. Just spouting them off. All
Are there
right.
any branches or anything I can grab, like stick?
Sure.
Okay. So I look around and I find a branch off one of the trees in the clearing and like pick it up like very possessively, like I need something. Everyone's got a weapon but me. So now I need something. Okay. So now I'm keeping an eye on that spot.
Yep. And as you remain focused on that spot, you are starting to very, very quietly hear which Zoom very may well have filtered out, low growl.
Yeah. So I'm kind of in like a batter hit stance and just are we staying here or are we moving on?
We should slowly move away from here, but if we run, that just incites things to run after us. And I don't know about you, but I'm not feeling like most of us are in good shape for running looking at Alandra's character's bare feet.
Uh,
yeah.
I'd prefer not running. Anyway, should we go back the way we came and try to find our way out, or do we need to go further in? I'm voting backtrack personally, but I recognize that we should come to a consensus.
Backtracking's fine with me. There was a kind of widened opening space that might lead us to civilization.
Right.
Yeah. Sounds good. Maybe we can find a road. Get us out of here.
Okay. I'm tempted to go down a stealth route, but I think if you're backing away and being less of a threat, I think you're okay. You're heading back the opposite direction. So the trees do open up. Sorry, the space out. Suddenly having a moment of the tree, you know, open the door, and we're in a completely different kind of adventure here. So you find yourselves at the bottom of a hill. Looking up, you can see a pulsing yellow light up at the top of the hill. Looking further up, the stars are just starting to come out. They look a little bit distorted. The sky has just a touch more blue than you would expect at this point in sunset. And as you're looking up at the yellow light, starting very, very, very faintly, you're starting to hear a hum, barely audible.
You hear that? That noise?
Oh, I thought I just had some sort of tinnitus from the it being so quiet out here or something. Is that actually happening?
Hey, that is that like what they call like city noise, or don't they call it like, the lights from a city? We can't be far from a road.
We had to get out here somehow, right? So there must be something.
Not like aliens just dropped us off in the middle of a forest somewhere.
Yeah.
There is quite definitely a path, so it's meant for people to walk here occasionally, at least.
Does the hum get louder as we keep moving?
Maybe a little bit. It's hard to tell. It's still so faint. You wouldn't be able to pick it up at all, except that you were taking a moment to concentrate on where the bleep are we.
And this humming doesn't seem to be specifically directional to us. It's just kind of there.
Yeah, for now it's there. You do notice that as you're listening very, very carefully, you're noticing that it rises in pitch just a little bit and dips and seems to be in time with the light at the top of the hill. Just very gradually, it seems, starting to pulse a little bit faster.
Hey, I hear that like electric fences and stuff have that kind of hum. It's the electricity in the air. Maybe we're near something, some kind of facility. You always see them in the movies. They have these big facilities with lots of lights, secret government facilities, and they always have these barbed wire fences that always hum and everything else. Maybe we're near something.
You really are a nerd,
Thing.
aren't you?
Saying there's a giant electrical fence around us, like some kind of Jurassic Park.
No, like one of those big, like, kind of secret government facilities that's like out a ways, and it's supposedly one thing, but then it's another thing. And, they're actually like have weird experiments and shit going on inside, and just, I don't know, or it's a prison or something. You always see like those big facilities that always have those big electric fences, and they always hum.
Why?
I mean,
Okay, Area 51, let's go figure out what's going on.
well, do you have a better
I think it's
explanation?
weird that none of us look like we should be here, right? None of us even look like we should be in the same place. I don't. Where would we all have been at the same place at the same time, dressed like this, and just sort of generally like waving at bad fitting police uniform and then waving at ripped up cocktail dress?
No.
Drunk tank?
Look.
I will say,
Anyway.
Heather's fleece is, on the nicer end of fleeces, so you can sort of kind of see maybe the two of you might belong in the same place, but the police uniform does not fit. You're right.
Wait, what if, and I'm pointing at Alandra's character, what if you and I mean, look at you, you're looking pretty fine there. I mean, even all dirtied up, I'm just saying.
Yep.
And, I'm look at Dave. This is, I think maybe we're at a party, and Blue Boy over here was, he was security or something. Just saying, maybe we were somewhere in like the Hollywood Hills or something.
Party at the secret alien facility. Okay, that seems fine.
Don't discount it. You don't know. The government just released a report in the last year or so that says there were actually aliens. I mean, come
Okay,
on.
so we're heading up the hill. Is that the plan now? I think we should keep moving. At the very least, I
Yes.
don't want to stay here long enough for whatever that was in the clearing to catch up to us, because that doesn't seem ideal.
Or friendly. No. Head towards
Know
the
about
light.
you.
Move that way.
Don't know about you, but I'm allergic to mauling. Don't know how I know that, but I'm pretty sure I am. Just sort of dry, straight face. Keep moving.
I think most of us are, but okay. So you're making way up the path, up the hill. At this point, it's starting to feel more like sidewalk kind of path than dirt path through woods. You do notice that the light is still continuing to pulse a little bit faster. It doesn't seem to be connected to you approaching or anything. If you stand still, it's still very slightly accelerating. But you make your way up to the top of the hill, where there's a circular clearing. The yellow light is quite definitely coming from the middle, so it's kind of flashing, pulsing across you. The buzzing, humming is definitely clearer here. There's a large space made of stone, marble. As you are standing there, make sure that is working properly. I'm going to have a handout for you in just a second.
This is not at all ominous.
There we go. So there is a stone, I'm going to call it a patio. It's bigger than a patio. Engraved with concentric circles, mixed with some 5-pointed stars. And there are two things in particular that are demanding your immediate attention. One of them is a tall man in very nice clothing. He certainly looks like he belongs at the same event as Alandra's character. Lying on the ground. He's clearly been shot in the head. That's only one of the things that's demanding your attention. The other is at the center of the innermost circle. In that smallest circle, something stirs. Source of the light, clearly. Unclear if organic or mechanical. Resembles a translucent, pulsating egg. Inside, you can see, are those limbs? Maybe levers? Something moving slowly in sync with the droning, humming, buzzing sound. Yeah, that's what you're seeing up here.
Where is the man who's been shot in relationship to the pulsing egg light source thing?
So the pulsing
Yeah.
light is at the center of the
Okay.
circles. It fills the middle, smallest circle, which is about 1 foot across. He is laying near one of the points of the largest star.
In like the outer ring where those
Yeah.
largest 5 points hit. Okay, great. Steven, did we decide it was? How many bullets are left in your gun? She's going to
Good
say with like a
question.
really tight smile that's like the slightly scared deer eyes.
And I'm like pulling away from them so they can't just rush up on me just in case, but I pull my clip and check. Nothing's missing. There are in fact 2 bullets missing, but I don't tell them that.
I'm gripping my stick very tightly.
Um, does this seem like the sort of situation where we should be getting closer or further away? Because I don't know what that is. And I don't know if I want to.
Yeah, I don't want to particularly look at, much less touch that thing. But maybe it has something to do with why we're here and why we don't have any memories and why there's 2 people dead. Neither of which are the fault of any of us, I am completely certain.
Do you think we're being set up? And as I say that, I'm gonna kind of move over toward where this body is, and taking a cue from what happened before, I'm gonna kind of do the pocket pat down, start doing that, and see if I can find anything on him.
It does take you a moment after deciding to do that to make your eyes leave the thing in the middle of the circle. But you take a look at this guy, late 50s maybe. He's in good shape, dark complexion, what's left of his complexion, definitely shot in the head. As you're searching him, he, unlike the rest of you, very helpfully does actually have an ID in his pocket. His ID has the name Saul Kane, SaulKane.
The audacity.
And are you sharing that with the others?
I think I will. This is like an ID in a wallet or something.
Yeah.
I think I will pull it out, take a look at it, and then I will. I'm kind of doing this whole pat down one-handed because the other hand is holding the knife and
Yeah.
probably my bricked iPhone sandwiched together. And I keep glancing up to, particularly to, Steven, since again, gun, shaky, concern. But I'm constantly, I think, scanning the 2 of them and glancing over at this pulsing egg thing as much as I'm actually looking. So I think I will take it, force myself to look at it, press it, and then kind of gently toss the wallet toward where they are so that they can look at it also while I continue checking pockets.
Catch the wallet and start kind of put the stick under the arm and then like Saul Kane.
Okay, I would be asking for an EDU roll. As it is, I'll ask for a D100. See if any of you recognize the name.
I do not, with a 98.
Stop doing this, Rina. That's a 94.
I got a 75. Let's find out if I'm actually smart.
Okay. So Alandra, it's kind of on the tip of your tongue. It occurs to me we have neglected to roll luck. So if you can all roll 3d6, add those up, and then multiply by 5, that should give you a number between 15 and 90.
Oh, get out my calculator. I have 75.
I have 80.
Woo!
So Alandra, if you'd like to,
I would love to.
you can spend 15 points to make that
Great.
a success.
A whopping 50 luck. Okay.
Yeah. You have a friend who goes on and on and on about this guy. He writes those novels about monsters and aliens and all kinds of creepy stuff.
I think as this comes to me and I realize it, I will kind of pause for a moment and just look maybe a little too long and a little too intently at Heather's character for like like an eerie too long kind of stare moment, and then just be like,
What?
he's a novelist. He writes
Oh.
conspiracy books.
No.
I
Oh.
somebody I don't remember who, but I remember somebody just would not shut up about his books about like paranormal and aliens things. Was it you?
Does this all start coming to me when she says, when she says that?
The name sounds
This
vaguely
and
familiar. You have a vague recollection of looking at the cover of something and seeing by Saul Kane,
okay,
but the details escape you.
are escaping me. Okay. Yeah, I should know him. I should know this. Why don't I know this? And it occurs to me that we have now found 2 bodies. One shot, one stabbed. We have one person with the gun and one person with a knife. And I just kind of, the head reels a little bit as I'm like, did they kill them? Did I kill somebody? If I killed somebody, where's that person and how did I kill them? Or am I next? I mean, don't they always kill the black guy in the movies?
I'm gonna suggest that in fact all 3 of your minds are reeling for a moment, because that pulsing has continued getting faster and faster and faster. It's almost strobe-like at this point. If any of you have brain neurology like mine, I apologize. And then there is a flash, very bright, out of this thing in the middle of the circles. Bright enough, you cover your eyes and you're still seeing spots. And in that moment, the hum that's been coming and going grows into a very unsettling noise. For our audience at home, if you'd like to, you can Google the phrase shepherd tone, SHEPARD. Not going to play you one because, well, they can physiologically cause a panic response, and that's not what we want here. But it sounds, your brain is struggling to make sense of it. It sounds like it's getting higher and higher and lower and faster and faster all at the same time, without getting too high or too low to hear. It just goes on and kind of twists something in your head. And when it fades and goes back to that slow hum pulse, you find you have a little bit more of a thought in your head. Again, still doesn't feel quite like, doesn't feel like a memory, more like a hazy after image from a dream. But you can go ahead and open your second thought echo, which should give you all a little bit more of a hint. And while you're at it, there we go. While you're at it, I am also dropping into the chat character sheets because you're remembering enough of what you do and don't know, can and can't do. They say that when a GM laughs, it's a bad sign. Sometimes when a player laughs, it's a bad sign, I think. But
Interesting.
And Rina and Heather, you were both, as I have it in my head at least. Alandra was focused on the body. The two of you were still sort of clocking the whole situation. I think when that flash goes off, gonna need a POW roll from Rina and from Heather, because it is compelling.
Oh no. Hard success. 26 under 60. Sometimes passing power rolls isn't good though, so we'll see.
Ooh, just underneath. So that's a 58 under 60.
Okay. So Rina, you're turning away, blinking your eyes, having spots. Heather, you are staring. A little bit slack-jawed, pupils kind of dilating a little bit, staring into this at this egg thing. And you're going to need to make a sanity roll.
Yeah. I was wondering when that was going to show up.
Yeah.
First one of the day. Yay. All right. Save. 50 sanity. Oh, how convenient. And that is a 94 over 50.
Okay, roll me a d4.
Yes. Yes, for 3.
So you're going to lose 3 sanity.
2, 3.
I will say this now before it comes up and somebody is confused later. For the purposes of this scenario, we are disregarding indefinite insanity, largely because in your current state, if we were playing with indefinite sanity, you would already be indefinitely insane. So yeah, need to keep track of your sanity so you know what you're rolling against, but mechanically, all you're really worrying about is losing 5 in a go. So yeah, Heather is quite fascinated with this thing. You may the two of you probably notice it's not exactly subtle.
Would be a monster out of, I guess, a game? Feels like it would be out of my game. I have a game. I think I have a game. I create games. I'm pretty sure.
Did you
Yeah.
create this game?
I
Is
don't
this a
know.
game? It's a pretty fucked up game if it's a game.
I don't know. We were developing spells. We were developing spells and for this game.
Did any of them involve inscribing giant this motioning at the big like circular whatever?
Hey,
Heather is still staring at, and Heather, I'm going to need another power roll, and you need a hard success, or
oh
rolling
God.
sanity again.
Okay.
And I'm being merciful, by the way. That as written, this is per turn.
Oh God.
Oh, good Lord.
You are a kind and merciful keeper, Steve. Thank you so much.
For now.
He is a generous god.
Yeah, but generous on which side? No, that is a 27 under 47, my current sanity. So that's much better.
Okay. 27 under 47, so not quite hard, but you can spend a couple of luck and
I would like to spend a couple of luck and
Yep.
make that a hard success, please. Thank you.
yeah. You rip your mind away from the thing. I did neglect to mention one minor, inconsequential detail. You were all absolutely positive that when you walked into this clearing, this pulsating egg thing was filling the centermost circle, pretty much exactly. It's now filling the second circle, pretty much exactly.
Don't think we should be standing around here.
So for reference, basically going from a 1 foot diameter to 2 feet.
Yeah, that getting out of here might be a good idea.
It's
Um,
spreading.
Heather, as I recall, you have a rather good mathematics score. I think it's under science math.
I do, as a matter of fact. So
You
Uh,
give me a roll and
let's see how long we actually have before that thing fills the space, which, if I remember correctly, is what you're going for. But with that sanity loss and trying, the absurdness of the situation, unfortunately, that is going to kind of fail me because that's a 94 over 70.
how would you like to push it?
March the roll.
Because it's like parts of my brain are starting to kick in and I really need to know. I need to know. I need to know what the hell's going on. So I am going to take a minute. Yeah. Take a minute and I am going to sit and I'm going to go, no, wait a second. I can do this. And I am going to focus all of my attention on that egg and the space and trying to work out small equations in my head to okay, and maybe take even a few steps forward towards it. Oh, I love this game. Take a few steps forward towards it and I really try to go, okay, wait a second. If that, no. Hold on. If we do that and okay. And that is a 59 under 70.
Awesome. So yeah, you recognize the pattern of these circles. Mathematically speaking, it's a Fibonacci sequence, which basically is basically exponential. So goes, if it follows this pattern, it's already gone from 1 feet to 2, then it'll go to 3, and then 5, and then 8, and then 13, and then 21, and then 30 something. If you start from basically when you first noticed the light up here, you run a few calculations in your head. Little bit less than a day, maybe 20 hours. It's going to be the size of the planet.
How long do I think that we have until it hits the outermost circle on the ground? That's my first focus.
See, good question. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 hours, maybe 3.
Okay. That's our first. Yes, math. Math. So after doing some calculations, figuring this out, picking up, just kind of reaching down and picking up a little bit of grass in the dirt and just kind of rubbing it between. And then I stand up and I turn around and I look at him. At best, we got 3 hours before that beak hits the edge. I don't know if it'll stop there, but I'm just saying, if it's trying to reach the edge of that circle, we don't have much time.
So we just get as far the fuck away as we possibly can
Or we
from
try
this
to
in 2 to
destroy
3
it.
hours.
Or we try to destroy it before it reaches some type of fruition. Because if it goes past that circle, it's going to keep going. And it is going to keep going. And it's going to go. And it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And eventually, it's going to basically wipe out everything.
I'm sorry, a clarifying question, please. What is it? What is it?
Well, it looks like an egg.
Yes, thank you. That's very helpful. What kind of egg? What kind of egg just keeps growing?
I saw Alien.
thing.
Eggs don't go super well. So
No, they don't. So let's see.
You are
Hold
in a clearing. So you had previously noticed above you the stars were kind of distorted. There was a bluish kind of cast to the sky. You've been here for a few minutes. Dusk is coming in a little bit more. So there really shouldn't be color in the sky anymore. The blue is still there, and it's definitely bigger than this circle.
I want to try something. You asked if we were in one of my games. I don't know. There might be a way to test it.
Continue?
So I will turn away and turn towards this egg, and I will take a few steps forward, and I don't know if this is going to work, but let's find out. And I will put my hands together and I will thrust them forward and I will say, Ignicio.
Okay. So first of all, as you're focusing your attention back on the egg, gonna need a hard POW again.
Of course you are.
Can I try to catch Steven's eye and give him like the hard nod of like, we need to move away?
Well, I'm 100% in agreement with you, just kind of nodding wide-eyed, like hands seem a little bit steadier, but still kind of like,
Yeah.
That is a 23 under 30 for a hard success.
Cool. Okay, in which case,
I'm in my zone now.
in which case you're going to spend 6 magic points.
Ooh.
Heather, you see a pulse of energy. You tell me what color that surges out from your hand and flies into the egg.
It would
It's
have to
still
be
very
kind of a
slow, the pulsing at the moment, having just recently grown. But you swear it's pulsing just a little bit faster after you fire at it.
oh shit.
Um,
Ignicio
Rina
would be
and
reddish
Alandra,
orange.
you don't see this energy go, but you do notice, Heather makes this gesture, and you do notice that the egg seems to be pulsing just slightly faster. She did something.
Cool.
Cool.
We love that. I'm gonna look at Steve and start making hand motions like that are like, leave them, we go.
Yeah, I'm pulling away from Heather's character, just like making it mad. Don't think you should be doing that. We're not in some kind of video game. This isn't the Matrix.
The reddish orange energy flies out, I'm guessing, from my hands and do I think it actually hit to do damage, or do I think it hit and was absorbed into the egg? With my geek mind.
Yeah, with your geek gamer mind, yeah, it seems to have liked that.
Oh. Okay. I can't say 1 minute we're in a game, but that just absorbed the energy I threw at it. But that would work. That's kind of how we set the game up, I think. Remember?
I'm sorry. Can we back up again? It absorbed the energy you threw at it.
That's not good. If it absorbed
What
the
energy?
energy,
What energy?
one of the spells that we added to the game because it was too difficult. It was an attack. It was an attack spell.
Define what you mean by spells, because this isn't like putting salt on a doorway to keep slugs out and then pretending it works on ghosts or something.
Okay. And I kind of walk over and I kind of look her in the eye. I'm like, look, did you ever play a video game or sit around the table and play Dungeons and Dragons or anything?
I did not. Look at me. Do I look like the kind of person who sits around playing video games?
You'd be surprised the type of people that play video games. My investors are very diverse and generally very loaded. So
just pops boobs slightly at loaded and gives you a look.
Oh, believe me, honey.
Above game, I am loving the character dynamics. I will just remind you that based on what you saw from the circles, there is a time frame here.
Yeah, oozy things.
Yeah. So yeah.
But you were all awesome.
Yeah. It's gaming. Spells are involved. Sometimes you cast it. Spells are basically magic. It's magic. It's magic energy. I don't have time for this. Short version. I threw some kind of energy at it. It's like a sponge and it soaked it up. All right. It's like one of those Bounty paper towel commercials. I spilled some water and it came along and went up with the water. The water was the energy.
Okay.
The water was back.
So
and
how do we make it not do that? So how do we make it not do that then?
I don't cast that again.
Great. Yeah. Magic. Squishy stuff. We're in season 7 of Supernatural. Got it. What do we do about it?
I don't know.
I think we shouldn't be here anymore.
I think we shouldn't be here.
I think we shouldn't be here. I don't think we were ever supposed to be here, and now I think we should definitely not stay here.
Okay, with Booberella. Let's go. So somewhere, anywhere.
So
where do we go?
There are two paths leading the paths. 2 ways to go. One back down the hill. The other is, well, you're at the top of the hill, so it's also a downhill, but it's in a different direction.
Okay. We haven't taken that path. So we follow the path we haven't taken yet. Road less traveled and all that. Remember that from, I think, from school.
Nerd.
Seems better than going back
Yes.
to the growling and the dead guy, so fine with me.
All right, down the hill.
So this path is made out of wood. With the moisture from the grass to either side, it's a little bit slippery, but as long as you take your time, you're okay. At one point, as you're making your way down the hill, you swear you hear somebody chuckle, but it's not any of you. But then the sound doesn't repeat. So as you're reaching the bottom of the hill, you're approaching the back of a gorgeous house. Kind of thing that it was probably, when it was built, probably was on the cover of an architectural magazine somewhere. Lots of glass, lots of cool angles, perched on a cliff that, now that you're heading this way, you're more aware of. There's a small cement patio with some very well kept flower beds, gardening shed off to one side, and sliding glass doors into what appear to be maybe the kitchen, the living room.
Kind of look over at Alandra's character. This your place? Looks like a place you would probably be at, but this is
I
nice.
certainly hope so. I'd take it, but I don't remember, unfortunately. Maybe we should go
Maybe there'll be someone else here.
find out. Yeah.
Let's hope they're alive.
Go find your sugar daddy. Marching in.
You heading into the kitchen or the living room? There are two sliding glass doors.
Kitchen.
Okay.
Yeah, kitchen sounds good. I could eat.
I'm going to split the difference and go into the living room.
Fair enough.
Split the party.
It's with the party.
And I'm going to go ahead and give you a map. And
Ooh, maps.
give a map to our audience. So you're coming in from the right side of the map, into living room or the kitchen. Let's start with the living room, and then we'll take a look at the kitchen. The living room, as befits a house like this, it's gorgeous. It's combination living room and dining room. Judging by the appearance here, this seems to have been a dinner party of some kind. The table is still full of dishes. Obviously, people have eaten and hasn't been cleared away yet. Looks from the place settings, looks like 7 people.
That was going to be my first question.
Yep. There's also a big, expansive window from which you can look out off of the cliff at the water below, and that bluish glow that you had previously just seen in the sky, you can see is basically a dome that seems to presently seems to surround pretty much the property. You might have run into it if you had had it a little bit further into the forest. And you can see the curved line where it basically bisects the water down there. So maybe it's a dome, maybe it's a sphere.
So then 2 questions.
Yeah.
First question, based on being able to see this kind of edge of the dome bisecting, can I guess, roughly based on trajectory, what the central point is of where, like, if this is a half sphere, like, what is the center point?
I think you can guess that without me answering the
Great.
question. It's the same center point. Yeah.
Cool. Just wanted to confirm.
Yep.
Second question, as I look around this living room, dining room, is there, just perchance, like a mantelpiece with photos? Is there a shelf with first edition novels? Is there anything that might give me a clue as to whose house this actually is?
Great thoughts, but this is more like the formal,
Okay.
maybe there's a family room somewhere.
Okay.
But
Just checking so I know if I
the
need to
art on
keep
the
going.
wall is, very much, meant to impress as opposed to,
Great.
that's
I will
Timmy's
keep
birthday party.
hunting then. Yeah, I was saying, then I will keep hunting for that information. I will make note of
Yeah.
the plates, though, the number of plates.
So sorry, I know two of you went into one room and one went into the other. Rena and Heather, you're both going kitchen?
Yes,
Yes.
I believe
Okay.
so.
Yep.
Okay. Just making sure if I am clear on where people are. So you're heading into the kitchen. Again, big, beautiful. Tiny doesn't cover it. Meticulous is probably more accurate. Gigantic gigantic island with a marble top. You do notice there's a cutting board. Somebody was slicing up a carrot. That's on the far side of the kitchen from where you are at the doors.
Well, whoever was here left in a hurry. Stuff still out. Nothing's wrapped. Nothing's put away.
You think we were all here and then got scattered somehow? Just kind of picking my way through all the stuff that's that's out, looking like, is there blood anywhere? Does it look like there was any accident or injury? Someone cut themselves?
Well, people sometimes get cut chopping things up. So you take a look at the cutting board. So I will start with the second piece of information, which is that the kitchen cleaver is still there. If
Okay. Was wondering.
Yeah. I asked before we played this game about any lines and veils about body horror. Yeah, from across the room, your brain could convince you that was a carrot they were slicing up.
I knew it.
It's a finger.
I knew it. I knew it.
And
As
nice,
soon as you said there was
neat,
stuff out, I'm
even
like,
slices. Sanity roll, please.
We've
For
entered
both
into
of
an
us?
episode of Hannibal.
Now you should be filled right at home.
I passed 4,750.
Okay, you lose 1 point.
Okay.
Nope, that is a 59 over 47.
1d3.
And yes, that was a different set of dice.
Understood.
And another 2, because sure. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh man, that's nasty. Oh. Wait, is it a if I'm going to lose my sanity, I need to know. Is it a male? Can we tell if it's a men's or a women's roughly finger?
Oh.
Because I do believe we've run into 2 people, both have been male and they're both dead.
Yeah.
So if this is a female's finger, then maybe we're missing. There's somebody else.
Yeah. Well, so the fingernail is nice bright red, like painted red, not like everything's red,
not
but,
blood red.
You also notice a diamond ring still on, pretty much on one of the slices.
Okay. Well, that answers that question. And as far as I know, Boobalicious has all of her fingers. So that means there's somebody else. Okay.
Did you all find anything in there? I call as I'm starting to head toward the kitchen.
I just look over at Steve, the policeman. Like, did we tell her?
I don't want to point fingers at anyone, but you should probably come see this.
I will enter. It looks like I can just enter the kitchen from the dining room. There's access points there. So I will kind of pop in through that door and be like, it looks like maybe we were at a dinner party. There's 7 place settings over here.
I hope we
Oh.
weren't here because I don't want to. I'm not sure about what we were eating if we were here, and just point dramatically at the fingers.
Hey, guess your hands.
I will hold them up. I do still have the knife and my iPhone in the one hand, but I will hold up my hands. Why?
That means if there were 7,
So those aren't
two-
yours
two
then.
down.
I will look
Two
over in
down.
the direction that they are pointing. Just be like, what are you talking about?
So 7 place
When we do
settings.
see it, sanity roll, yeah.
Grab those dice. Let's say 12.
Okay, you only lose 1 point.
Great.
Just a reminder to our player who is still making do with a stick, there is still a cleaver next to the board.
Yep, and I think we'll be changing out the stick for the cleaver because yeah, let's upgrade first of all. Second of all, my mathematical mind is okay. Boobalicious said 7 place settings, 3 of us, all with our fingers, 2 dead men. That means we're missing 2 bodies or 2 people. One of which has lost a few digits. Okay. And I'm saying this out, I'm figuring this out loud. It's like this is how I'm trying to keep my sanity. I'm doing what I do best. I do math. Okay. So 7. So we're missing 2 or 1 and 3/4.
Maybe. Okay, so we've got potentially or almost certainly another victim, and then we've got whoever's causing all of this. That's got to be it, right? Because it's not one of us, is it? Not one of
No.
us, so
No.
has to be
Maybe,
someone
right?
else.
Yeah.
Do you think someone is trying to set us up for something? I don't know if it's just. I mean, apparently it's murder, but it's also whatever is going on the hill up there, right?
Wait. You said Saul Kane was a writer. Wrote
Yeah, he writes like
What?
I don't know, weird science fiction paranormal stuff. I think I remember vaguely somebody just going on and on and on about his.
as I just like gesture like around like
We need to see if there's
are
a.
we in dinner? Like one of those dinner like murder mystery dinner.
Well, that's why I asked
kinda
if this
setup?
was a game. If
What?
you is this some
Don't
sort
know.
of game?
So I think we need to find if there's a basement or something in this house. Just thinking that there might be.
Oh,
And
basement.
I'm flashing back to a very particular memory of winding stairs and something I really don't want to be thinking about right now. But that's where my brain is going. It's like, well, there might be answers there. There also might be a sadistic cannibal. But we're armed. We're prepared for the inevitable PvP that's going to arise out of this. So we should see if there's a basement.
Well, why don't we check the rest of the main floor first since we're up here?
You
know,
from the other room, it
just-
looks like there's a hallway through that door, indicating the kitchen door, the other kitchen door.
whenever you go into a dungeon, you have to clear the main floor first so you don't have anything following you from behind and surprising you.
Okay, well, if that's
So-
what we're going to do, we need to do it quickly because, as I recall, we're on a time crunch, people.
Yes. Yeah, we are.
Does your genius mathematical calculation know how big that thing has gotten at this point in the last 5 or 6 minutes, however long it's been.
Well, let's see if my mathematical mind can
Well,
wrap
if you're
itself around
if you're
that.
looking out the
Oh, yes, it can. Yes, it can. That's a 4. It absolutely can.
if you're looking out the sliding glass door, you can see the pulsing is starting to turn toward a flickering again. You get the feeling it's about to pop up another notch.
So yeah, I'd say it's 1, 2. So
Okay, let's get going.
Yeah.
Officer Steve, would you like to lead the way or bring up the rear? I believe those are usually the 2 options for the person
I want
with
the gun in the front. Gun in the front.
I should
Gun always in the front.
clear the rooms first, I guess. That's what I'm supposed to do. That's what I do, right?
That sounds wonderful. I would really appreciate that.
So I'll go first with my gun out, but
Doors and
all I can
corners.
think about is how I've seen it in movies before, because I don't actually remember how to do it. I'm just remembering how I've seen it in a movie.
So doors and corners, you do notice a nice big front door. There's also on the wall a stunning painting. I'm going to go with surrealist. The sky is blue and violet. There's an orange tinted island with towers of brass and silver and gold. Closer you look, you start seeing forms inside the clouds, a tentacle reaching out of the sea here and there. And there's a little brass plate on the bottom of the frame, identifying the artist as Mark Strindberg.
Well,
Does this look
that's
familiar at all?
not disturbing.
Anyone know this guy?
Is that the guy we found in the clearing? You said his initials were MS, didn't you?
Yeah. Okay. Creep.
Author, artist.
So we've got an author who writes sci-fi paranormal books. We've got what do you call yourself? A game designer? Who uses magic in games. We've got an artist who paints whatever the hell this is. Do we all know each other?
Where do you fit into this?
Where don't I?
Nowhere, with that staring down at her chest. Not fit
Evenings
very well.
entertainment?
Oh,
Someone's date?
Presumably.
What? Oh, maybe we should just keep moving. We're still missing 2 bodies. People. 2 people.
You're
And
not
I'd
standing
really like
by the giant expanses of glass anymore, but still from that direction, you very much get a blast of light and that disorienting sound. When it subsides, you can open thought echo number 3. Remember a little bit more.
oh no.
By the way, Heather, just for your reference, the cleaver does a 1d6 of damage die.
Well. I stagger back a little bit, clutching my head with one hand and my other hand with the gun, and it just shaking slightly.
Everybody okay?
No. What about this is okay? Nothing about this since we woke up has been okay.
Yes, no, the last time that thing went off, pointing at Heather's character, went a little bit woo, and I wasn't sure if we were all having an experience again.
Turn and stare at Heather's character, just like, are you okay, man?
I take a couple of steps back from them, close my eyes, open my arms, and shout, Ex Machina!
Oh no, not again.
Okay.
So Ex Machina first. You swear there's a tint to your vision. It's nothing terribly obvious. It's not like a certain classic game where everything turns blinding white and you can't see what you're doing. But it does feel like something happens.
My eyes probably flash gold for a second.
Yeah. Okay doesn't seem to do anything, but you kind of have a feeling that maybe there's a certain way you're supposed to say it, or a certain way you're supposed to, make the gesture. These were, after all, temporary fill-in cues. They hadn't been finalized yet, so.
Oh, lovely. Okay.
I just want to catch Officer Stevens' eye, and again, it's a little bit of the back and forth of like eye contact, glance over at Heather's character, eye contact. Like, is this a thing now?
Okay, Gandalf, calm down.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I'm right. Still don't know who I am. I still don't remember everything, but when I said that we might be in some kind of game simulation.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
It's very possible that we are, and the game wasn't perfected yet. We were showing investors what it was capable of doing. I don't know if we were working with this author and this artist in this, but and the game wasn't done yet, and it wasn't ready yet. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, it's very possible this is the immersive game was working on.
Some kind of virtual reality? Is that what you're telling me this is?
Possibly. Sounds like a rough estimate.
And you said you were working on it. Does that also mean that you know how it works, or maybe could fix it?
I'm trying.
Okay.
I should be able to clap my hands and shout the proper words and be able to end the simulation. But
So
it's not quite working.
we're in some kind of the Matrix meets in the mouth of madness kind of nonsense over here. Is that what you're telling me? And I have not stopped to think about the fact that I keep referring to Heather's character as a nerd, but I have a lot of nerdy references that seem to go along with things, because that's just the kind of disconnect I've got going on in my brain right now. But all right, so we need to figure out how to get out of the game if we are in a game, because I don't want to be in a video game
And I don't know if I end it, if it will all end, or if it just like lets me out and everyone has to do this. I don't
Okay, how do you
remember
win
that
in the
much.
game? How do you win in the game? Maybe we need to win.
I don't know. Defeat the monster, find everybody.
How do you not? I thought you said you worked on this. How do you not know? I
How do you not know? Do you know your name? Do you know why you were here?
No, but you know what I do know how to do?
Boobalicious?
Survive a horror movie because I'm blonde and I have large tits, which means I know how to final girl this.
Isn't usually the
Well-
blonde with the huge tits the first one to go?
Yeah, that's why I know how to survive. How else do you think
The
I get
Scream
past
Queen.
casting couches in order to get real
You're right.
roles?
You're right. You're not Boobalicious. You're Scream Queen. I get it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so we've got a short amount of time before this goop spreads, according to your geekulations
Yeah.
over there.
Yes.
So we need to find the other people. We need to try and stop the monster thingy and get out of here because I don't know. Maybe it's one of those situations where if you die in the game, you die in real life, and I don't want to die.
So if we find the other people, we get everybody together, and I try to get the save point set and the exit to open.
Okay, great. We've got a plan.
But we need to find them first. Now we found 2 and they're dead. And we got to find the other 2. We got to at least know if they're dead, they're dead. If they're alive, then we need them like gathered up with us. So we got to hurry because if that thing goes, let's see, 1 circle, 2 circles.
Okay,
we got
Steven,
one more
let's
circle.
just keep clearing the room then while you do math, I guess.
Okay, we're still in the hallway. I'm reading the map. And so we've checked out the kitchen, we've checked out the living room. We haven't checked out the pantry or the storage. We're in the hallway. We need to check out that room over there, which according to the map is the office. So do we split up? That's usually never a good thing, but we cover ground faster.
I think we've got to go for speed at this point, right? Everything you guys keep saying is that it's getting faster and we're on a time crunch, so we should probably do this as quickly as possible.
So I walk over to the end of the hall real quick and like open the door to the office and look in.
Okay.
Because I think that's the closest.
Rina, Alandra, are you coming along, or are you heading to the pantry, or
Coming along because he seems to like he's the only one who has any idea of what could be going on or possibly how to get out of it. So I'm sticking close to him.
Okay.
Because if he flaps 3 times to believe in fairies or whatever, and we're not around, we could get stuck here. So
I think I will roll my eyes, but kind of bring up the rear of this group.
all right? So you're all heading into the office. You find the light switch. The lighting is beautiful, bright, focused around an expansive wooden desk. There are bookshelves lining the walls all around you. You can start wherever you'd like.
I just step into the middle of the room. I'm looking for anything out of place. Is there signs of a struggle? I don't know, more fingers to follow, like breadcrumbs. I don't. Anything out of place or anything any with the weird art that would draw my attention. Shall I do a spot hidden roll?
Sure.
Okay, let's see the dice. Give me anything because the brain's going in all different directions. Oh, that's promising. That is very promising. So that is a 32 under 50.
Okay. You do notice on the desk, along with random stuff and reference books and laptop and everything, you do notice a manila envelope that's kind of half tucked under the laptop, but certainly visible.
It's not, not tucked for long. Pull that sucker out.
So as you open it up, you find a whole bunch of photographs of your officer friend here. Shots of going through everyday life, buying coffee here, hanging out with friends over there. Always seems to be from a distance, sometimes not focused all that well. They never seem to be looking at the camera. And you also find, tucked in there, you find a letter, which I will share with you momentarily. Here we go.
We got some dirt on Officer Steve there.
And if you'd like to read that for the audience,
Absolutely.
even if you're not sharing it with the others.
Dear Dr. Kane, Mr. Kane, I have located the individual stalking you. He is an assistant professor of archaeology at Miskatonic University in Arkham, or rather he was. He was dismissed 6 months ago due to quote unquote inappropriate conduct. Further investigation revealed that he became obsessively involved with certain myths to the point of believing in their reality. Rumors suggest he is convinced about the existence of sects or cults devoted to summoning extraterrestrial deities, among other fanciful notions. Moreover, the Chicago Police Department is eager to question him in connection with a bombing at a nightclub 3 months ago. My eyes flick over to Officer Steve just for a second. He is considered potentially dangerous. My recommendation is to contact the police as soon as possible and allow them to handle the situation. Kind regards, Charles. Is that Danvers? Moonlight Detectives, 125 Elwood Drive, Berkeley, California, 94763. And I reread the letter just a couple of times, skimming through, and quickly flip through the rest of the photos to see if there's anything odd, but it looks like it's all day-to-day stuff. And slip everything back into the folder and kind of put it back on the desk. Well, that wasn't helpful.
What was it?
What was it? Yeah.
Just some photographs. It looks like this was Mr. Kane's place, or at least these were given to Mr. Kane. Looks like he was having doing some research for an upcoming book.
Was it research involving giant pulsing glowing egg creatures or anything that would be useful for us?
Didn't really give any information on any kind of extraterrestrial eggs, per se. I'm going to start checking out the laptop. Does it turn on, or is it as dead as our iPhones?
Well, okay, so the light's working, so house power is up. So it does start, and then it gives you a login screen.
Yeah, what's a password, doesn't it? Anybody can think of a password this guy might use? Actually, I'm going to give it a try. Maybe I can crack it. I've got an 80% on my computer use.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to give it a shot. Let's see.
While he's doing that, I am definitely going to look at the letter that is useless because I smell bullshit.
Yeah, I'm gonna back you on grabbing that envelope.
Hey, you really don't want to go into that. You really don't.
Well, now I want to read it even more.
That is a 36 under 40 for a hard success on my computer use. All right, but you're not going to like it. I was trying to be good. And I got to make sure that my cleaver is within easy reach while I'm doing this.
If
Heather, words not wording, dual factor authentication. You would need to have you would need to have Mr. Kane's phone, and B, it would actually have to be working.
Damn it. No, this isn't. Crap. All right. That's not going to go anywhere.
why don't
So
why don't I go upstairs and look for his phone or a charger?
Yeah, but first you might want to read that letter. If you're going to go there, you might as well do it.
I will look
And I-
over Stephen's
and I can-
shoulder if I can.
I stand back. I stand back, cleaver in hand.
Yep. So you see the
Okay.
same letter.
Okay, so he was being stalked. Okay, this is really kind of throwing a wrench into this is a video game theory, because why would, if Kane's a real person, why would he be in the game? Why would there be all this information about him being stalked? This makes no sense to me. I'm like getting a little agitated.
So
Well,
you don't remember stalking him, because that's what this looks like.
Me? No.
That's you in the pictures. And what about the bombing? A nightclub? Really?
I had nothing to do with any of that.
You don't know that, do you?
Have we met and you made me a character in your video game? Is that what happened? I know writers like to people watch and put people into their books and things. Is that what you did to me? Am I
have
just a
no
construct?
idea.
I'm having an existential crisis.
Since I am presumably, I was trying to kind of read over Officer Stephen's shoulder. Since I am behind him, can I very quickly try to just grab the back of his collar and flip it inside out to see if there's a tag for like a costume rental company in this badly fitted uniform?
Rent a cop.
Yeah.
No, the sleeve actually comes off because it's not that
You're
kind
the
of cop.
stripper.
How
How dare you poach me?
The tag says LAPD.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna flip it and then I will let go because I don't want the gun pointed at me. Sorry, just had to check.
None of this makes any goddamn sense.
This has got a cleaver under the hand. Okay. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm going to go look for a phone charger. This is ridiculous.
Okay, so where are you heading?
I think I'm gonna head out and I'm gonna start making my way up the stairs. But as I do, I am also gonna look for like, do I happen to see like blood dribbles on the stairs or any like smudges on the wall, since we have established that at least two people were bleeding, the owner of the finger and our guy who got stabbed in the woods. So
yeah, I don't think you'd be seeing any blood marks around, which seems a little bit weird in itself. But you head upstairs. You've got the second floor dropping into chat. So you're heading out into a hallway. To your left is a more casual living room, probably where the family actually hangs out. And then there's a hallway to your right with several doors.
Maze rules say go to the left first. So
Okay. So yeah, so the upstairs living room is definitely more casual, more lived in. Nice cushy couches, humongous TV, hooked up to the absolute latest, up to the minute game console. And on the wall, you see a poster, which I'm going to drop into chat for you and share with our audience. You walk in and there is this poster on the wall, and that is absolutely you, dressed in armor of some kind, pointing a gun at the camera. And the text on it says, "The Fear from Afar," based on the book series by Saul Kane, a game by Robert Greene. And in that moment, you have a revelation. Yes, that is you. That is you, because you are, in fact, an actress. You aren't a killer robot. You play a killer robot on TV, as it were. And I think that it seems like a good place to take a break. And welcome back. We're playing through Kane's Tone. We've just officially discovered that one of our investigators is not who they thought they were. The other two are still downstairs exploring the office. So what would any of you like to do?
with seeing this poster and kind of suddenly having this like click of reset realization, I'm just gonna call down the stairs, Robert, and see if I get a response.
Who the fuck is Robert?
Do I know who I am?
It's vaguely familiar, but it's not clicking.
I don't know. Did you find something?
Yes, I don't know if it's helpful though.
Well, we still have the pantry, I think, to check, but do we go upstairs?
What could be in the pantry other than more body parts posing as food?
Yeah, you're probably right. And I turn around and head towards the stairs to go upstairs.
Okay. So you head upstairs. Are you reconvening in the living room, or
Well, unless Alandra's unless she leaves the area, we'll probably go to wherever she is. So as long as she's still at the poster, that's probably where we'll head.
okay.
I think I'd probably meet you guys in the hallway.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Wherever you are.
Yeah. Because I'm probably starting to continue down the row to check other doors. But when I see you guys, I will like point into the living room toward the wall where the poster was and just be like, again, I'm not sure that it's helpful for our current situation, but it was personally enlightening.
Okay.
So if you walk
Poster.
in and
Mm-hmm.
see the poster, Heather, I am sending you a message because it is coming back to you now that you're seeing your name in lights, as it were.
I am Robert.
Well, that's
I
helpful.
am Robert. Rob. Call me Rob. That feels right. Game. Let's see. But this. No. Oh, crap. This isn't the game. And I turn around to Steve and I put my hand on either side of his shoulders and go, "This is not my game. This is real."
What?
Not my game.
So we're not in your game.
No, which is both great and terrible.
What part of that is great?
Well, the fact that we're not stuck inside of a crazed, bizarre, malfunctioning game.
But that still means the rest of this is real, which is really not great. Kind of think I'd rather be in a malfunctioning VR than in this being reality, to be completely honest. But
Okay.
Okay.
I'm an actress. I know how fiction works. I'm not sure what to do with this being reality.
And about that point, you hear
Yeah, there it
the
is.
same familiar noise outside again. You have a moment of shall we say, dizziness. It subsides. You don't seem to be recovering more memories this time, but at least for two of you, that's probably just as well.
okay, so according to you, we're not in a video game. Okay, fine. So let's operate under the assumption that this is real and go try to find the homicidal cannibal that seems to be probably responsible for this.
Not sure
And
if a homicidal cannibal would be like, and I kind of point towards a window, would be responsible for something like that. The finger and the deaths, maybe. But yeah, we need to figure this out, because if that thing is real, it just got to the edge of that
Back to my
that
first plan.
circle.
I think we need a phone charger so that we can, I don't know, call the police? The real police. I'm still not convinced that you're the real police.
Excuse me. I have a badge.
That means nothing. I can buy 6 of those from the prop shop. I'm going to push into bedroom 1.
Okay. So this looks like, yes, looks like a teenager's bedroom. You got your desk, chair, some textbooks. Looks like geometry, probably high school. There's an electric guitar on its stand over in the corner. Small collection of comic books, slightly larger collection of games. Wonder where they got where they learned that.
Oh, God. Does this mean there's a kid involved?
Above game, one of my hard limits is harm to kids. So I will tell you outside of game, the kid who lives in this room is okay.
Okay.
Just not here, having a sleepover at somebody else's house.
I am going to scan across the games and comics, maybe see if any other names jump out or any other instances of Robert's name or Saul's name jump out from any of these. But I'm also gonna head for if there's a nightstand or a ghost through desk drawers again. I'm on phone charger hunt at this point.
Okay. Yeah, you find oh you find a copy of the Fear from Afar. It's still in the package. It's not carefully preserved like a collector. It's just Dad's game. I'm supposed to be interested in Dad's game.
I will pull it out and the packaged game and chuck it toward Robert.
Hey. Yeah, okay. This looks like the game we sent out, I think. I look around the room. Is any of this triggering any additional memories or this feel familiar?
Nothing really grabs your attention in here. You're not, your memories haven't all come back, but you don't remember, coming upstairs and hanging out in the
So I
Kane
kind of
kids' bedrooms.
look over it. Yeah, I look over it. Yeah, so
Just looking for anything that seems relevant to the current situation. That ties you, me, and Saul together.
yeah. And Officer Steve was probably here. What? Did something happen and came?
Voice complaints, maybe?
Stop. And I go to, there's a window. I'm guessing in the bedroom.
Okay.
I go right to the window. Is it facing towards the front of the house or the back of the house?
That is a good question.
I'm trying to find a way. If that window goes to the back of the house, I'm going to go run into a different room. I'm looking for a window that faces out to the front of the house.
Yeah. Okay. So this bedroom and on the map, bedroom 2 are in the same side of the house that you came in.
Okay.
So the master bedroom would be the one that would look out front.
Okay. So Rob takes off after looking out the window for a second and kind of quickly scanning, and then takes off down the hallway to the master bedroom and starts looking through the windows. I'm specifically looking for a window that faces probably the front of the house to see if there is a police car out in the front of the house, at least to try to put some kind of context into what little we know.
Okay. So the master bedroom, as you'd expect in a house like this, it's huge. It's gorgeous. Out of the corner of your eye, you notice a notebook sitting out on one of the nightstands. But you are heading over to the window and looking out. And you're looking out over the parking area. There are a number of mostly very, very, very nice cars neatly parked. And there is a police car parked, kind of catty corner in the middle of the lot, one door hanging open.
Okay. That tells me that much. I also pull out my car keys and I'm kind of scanning real quick to see if I have keys. There's got to be a car down there that it fits. And I'll push button to see if an alarm goes off, if lights go on.
Okay, so from the key that you're looking for a Maserati, there is a bright red, cherry red Maserati out there.
Oh, I am
fob
spicy.
doesn't seem to do anything, but that's kind of part of
It
the course
could-
for.
Right. But the key itself might work. Okay. All right. If I've noticed the notebook on the corner dresser, we're pretty sure this is Kane's house. Everything seems to have been centered on this. Probably some kind of maybe a party launching the game or celebrating its success or something. And I'm going to go look at the notebook.
Okay. So you're flipping through it. It's mostly seeming to be a diary, this many pages today, stuck on this day, as I am digging for
No, we're good. We're there.
yeah. There we go. Okay, and I will share that with
Aha.
the audience as well.
Information. Oh.
And if you'd like to read for the sake of our audience.
Of course, because who doesn't want to read this? Call forth the devourer of worlds, ritual to open the gates to the final coming of the god thing. Start by sunset, new moon. Magic circle is a place of power. 5 summoners, 1 per point of the largest pentagram. Repeat 3 times together the invocation, and I am not going to even attempt to read that out loud. And my mind is going to try not to focus on those words too much because I have a feeling I don't want to know what would happen if that happened. Each time the master, damn it, Kane, you would, says the chant first, the others repeat. Master burns incense. Master spills his blood in the circle. Ew. All must envision the void in their hearts. Wow. Master loudly renounces thing most dear to him. Sorry, darling. Oh, dear. If it works, the god thing appears in the smallest circle, then grows circle by circle until it devours the world. And then not even going to try. Guys, we have a problem.
You already have a problem.
Is it a new
no.
problem or the same problem?
Same problem, but now we have an understanding of what the problem may be.
I will look at Stephen and kind of walk over. I think I'm going to stay in the hallway and just kind of look into the master bedroom.
I'll turn around and I will fold up the notebook. It's very possible Kane somehow arranged to summon that thing. And it's going to, I don't know if it's going to hatch or keep growing until it devours the world, but it's not going to stop whatever it's doing. And somehow we may have been involved. And I think he sacrificed his wife, who's probably that finger down below. I am not liking this. When I said I wanted to... this is not the game I wanted to play. Where the hell is my Gandalf when I need it?
Did we agree to do this? Or did we get tricked into it?
I can't imagine
I don't
how we
remember.
did. It takes, according to this, it takes 5 people. It takes 5 people. It looks like Officer Steve showed up probably because maybe somebody called the police. Maybe to stop him. Maybe we tried to stop him or stop each other.
Then we're still missing 2 people. We're missing Kane's wife and whoever the 5th summoner was. Assuming that Mark was one of them.
Right? So what if Mark and Kane, he sacrificed his wife? That's 1 more down. So that would explain 6 of us. There's still a 7th. We don't know. But technically there would only be 6 of us because Officer Steve was a bystander who got called in.
I shot someone.
But maybe you shot them for the right reason. Just like, actress over here stabbed Kane for the right reason.
We don't know. I didn't. Mark was the one who was stabbed. First of all, second of all, we don't know that I stabbed him. Why would I stab him?
True.
Kane got shot.
That's
if
true.
he was trying to summon the World Eater, then that would make sense.
I was in a robe. It was weird culty shit, and there was chanting, and some scared guy all tied up in a ritual circle kind of thing, and I shot someone and ran away with the guy. When you were saying that this was a video game, I thought I was just having a memory of playing a game, but if it...
So it was a guy who was tied up.
Yeah.
A man.
Just to be clear, and this may already be clear to you, Rina, but I just want to make sure. The setting that you're getting from that memory doesn't match the circle outside.
Right. But Steve hasn't put all the pieces together yet.
Okay. All right.
Yes, Steve's just remembering shooting someone and being very...
Yep.
There was a circle and someone was scared, and maybe
So were you here
thought it was a video
deliberately?
game.
Were you?
I don't know. I don't know. I know all I remember is I shot someone, but where the robes go and why was I in a robe, and I don't remember seeing any of you, but everyone else was wearing weird culty robes, and it was a circle. What we saw out there wasn't a circle, right? So was there another ritual, or am I not remembering things right? Are we all having fake memories? I don't know what's going on. All I remember is blood and shooting.
We need to find the other two people, and we need to find some sort of, I don't know, evidence or something. Find the robes, find the more instructions. Do rituals have sort of an anti-ritual? Like, you know, in the movies, there's always some sort of like a fail-safe or a reverse switch or something, right?
Generally there is in a lot of games there's usually something to counteract. In movies, usually the heroes save save the world at the last minute.
So let's start looking for something. If there were 7 place settings, then everyone was here for dinner. Or we're missing 3 people if Steve came in later.
Well, the patrol car is down there with the door open.
We're missing someone. We're missing multiple someones. I'm gonna pop open the door to the master bathroom and just kind of look at, just like do a hello.
Yeah. You get a face full of screaming, wailing, disheveled hair, middle-aged woman with a knife in one hand and a towel wrapped around the other that is very, very red.
Great. I'm gonna pop my knife up in reflex and arm.
Yeah. So athletic, middle-aged, evening gown. She was obviously at the party. Hers is soaked with blood, specifically, particularly on the side that has the towel wrapped around her hand now. And I think we are in combat.
Yay.
So this goes by Dex order, which in this case means that Alandra, you're going to be going first, I believe. Let me find. Yes. You're going to be going first. Everybody else is the other. Rina and Heather, you are both have Dex of 50, so you can go whatever order you like.
While I'm not as strong as I thought I was when I thought I was a robot, I am pretty dexterous and pretty good at dodging, probably from all that martial arts training that I'm sure I had to do movies. So I think I'm just gonna like flavor-wise, it's throw my arm up in front of me to like defensively, which is the hand that's holding the knife and the iPhone. But I think I'm just gonna try to like dodge out of the way so that if she's like coming at me, so that she hopefully goes past me and like slams into the wall or something.
Okay, fair enough.
Um,
So you're going to go ahead and roll dodge. And she is going to go ahead and roll her attack.
that is a 32 under 50.
So you dodge very, very well, and she attacks very poorly, possibly from loss of blood. And I will go ahead and give you crashes into the wall, but she is still screaming. She's still flailing with her knife.
I'm probably also screaming a little bit by like default.
Don't blame you. So that was her turn. So Rina, Heather, you can, if you're getting in on this, you can go whichever order you like.
I have a readied firearm. So
in which case you should have gone first. But I think
And
it still,
I've
it
just
still
had
makes
it. I've
sense
just
that
had
the
it out
person
this whole
being
time.
pounced
So
on,
yeah, not a problem. Just like Heather, do you mind? Hey, I'm gonna fire a warning shot past her to get her attention. I'm not trying to kill anybody here. Not trying to. I often end up killing people when I fire warning shots. It's a problem for Rina the player. But I'm going to fire a warning shot past her to try and get her attention and get her to stop flailing at Alandra's character, because trying to, hey, calm the fuck down, lady.
Okay, so you're firing a warning shot past
Past her, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
And that leaves Heather. Yes, leaves Heather or Robert, as we. No.
Well, ugh. Yo, lady, wait, hold up. What? I'm going to take this particular moment and I'm going to see does she have all of her fingers?
She has one hand wrapped in a towel that was not originally red, but is very much red now.
Very red now. Okay, that pretty much. So, yo, Mrs. Kane, come on. And since Officer Steve is deciding to take a shot, and our very athletic actress is kind of right there, I'm just gonna hang back until she either crashes into the room or I'm gonna play backup because I'm a nerd. That's what I do.
Fair enough. Which brings us back up to the top of the order. Yeah, I'm going to stick with the order we have. So Alandra, she very much was swinging for you. Did it badly, and you dodged fine. But yeah, she is. You were getting a close up look, and you do not get the sense that there is anybody home.
Yeah. I think as I get past my initial like startled reaction, because I was not expecting a screaming bloody woman in the bathroom. I was expecting a corpse at best. I think I just go into and I think I hear Rob start saying Mrs. Kane, and so that I will also kind of flip and be like, it's Emma, just calm down, we can figure this all out, we're all trying to figure this out, and like trying a little bit of like talk her down, but I'm gonna keep my knife up in sort of ready so that if she comes at me, like the idea is if she tries to come at me, she will potentially run into my knife before she can actually stab me.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. All right. So first of all, she is rolling very badly. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and give her a dex roll to see if she impales herself on your knife, which she thankfully. Oh, no. She was trying to succeed. Yeah.
Sorry, everyone.
Do you have on your character sheet what the damage is for your knife?
I do. It is 1d4 plus 1, and I do not have a damage bonus because
Okay.
I am not, in fact, a killer robot. Lucky for her.
Okay. So go ahead and make your roll.
I rolled a 1, so that is a total of 2.
Okay. You had 2. Okay. All right. Cool. So I believe that takes us to Rina.
So I'm more carefully like trying to aim around now because now she's up close to Alandra. Like, ma'am, I'm gonna need you to drop the knife. Ma'am, get on the ground.
Yeah, you're not getting a
No.
response.
Mm-hmm. So I'm behind Alandra, who is essentially engaged in melee with her, more or less, at this point.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So if she doesn't respond to me talking, I'm just gonna go up and try punching her in the head, knock her away. I'm not trying to kill her. I'm just trying to disengage her from Alandra because this is getting messy.
Okay. She's going to fight back. So if
Okay.
you want to roll brawl, she will as well.
Hard success.
She is not awful. She's got a 40 with her knife. We've got an 82, 68, 57. Yeah. So what's your damage on an unarmed?
Unarmed damage is 1d3 plus damage bonus. I don't have a damage bonus because I'm just a reedy guy. So let me roll that. I did, however, roll a 6 on the d6, which means a 3, I believe. So, ow. Sorry,
Yeah.
lady.
Yeah. So her hand and her nose are both gushing blood. There is still nothing but blind fury in those eyes. Which takes us down to Heather.
So I figure at this point she's probably kind of rushed into the room a little bit blindly, and all this has been going on. So I can probably get behind her.
Yeah.
And if so, I would like to try to put her in basically a grapple. I'm trying to do what I've seen in movies and try to knock her unconscious or, choke her unconscious.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So it seems like all three of you are trying not to kill, and all three of you are piling on one person. Long story short, you do manage to subdue rather than kill.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say you find there's a sash on the curtain on the window that you can use to tie her up so she's not going to be any harm to herself or anybody else for now. So
well, there's one. And I believe that's Kane's wife. At least it would make sense.
Probably. Can I rummage really quickly in the bathroom looking for any sort of band-aids, first aid kit, whatever, and see if I can do a little bit of first aid to stabilize her hand?
yeah, sure. It is in even worse shape than you had expected, but
Ooh. Is she only missing the one presumably ring finger, or is she missing multiple fingers?
where once there were 5, there are now none.
Cool. I just want to tourniquet that. at the bare minimum so that
Yeah.
she doesn't like bleed out while we've got her tied up unconscious on the floor. That's really what I'm going for.
Yeah.
Well, let's make it fast because whatever is going on outside is continuing, I think. And I think it's just going to get worse.
You all can start going through the other bedrooms and I can catch up. I don't feel like we want any more people dying here than we have to have.
I don't know. All right. Yeah, I'll go. And I take off. Let's see. We've hit the master bedroom and the bathroom. We've gone into at least one kid's room. I think there's another.
Yeah, there's one more at the end of the hall.
All right. I'll check the one at the end of the hall, as well as coming from the master bathroom down the hallway. I'm going to, if the door to the bathroom is closed, the one in the hallway between bedroom 1 and bedroom 2, I will check that bathroom first and then check bedroom 2.
Little bit of water, a little bit of blood in the sink. Somebody was obviously trying to clean up. So at some point she was lucid enough to wrap the towel around. And you do notice that the hand towels in here match the one she was using.
Okay, so she hit this one first because it was the top of the stairs. I mean, kind of. All right, bedroom 2.
While you're doing that,
Yeah.
just this is me / Steve,
Mhm.
air quotes talking. While you're doing that, there should be a police radio in my car. I'm gonna go try and call someone because it might be the only device we have still working since our phones are dead mysteriously.
Okay, sure. At this point, I'm not going to stop him.
Alandra, are you going with one or the other, or going in third place, or?
Against my player better judgment, but because I think it's way more interesting of a choice, I'm gonna finish dressing this like minimally, just make sure she's not gonna bleed out.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna remember that the one other place that we haven't searched is the pantry, and I'm gonna run downstairs and go check the pantry.
Okay.
So I'm gonna like follow on Officer Steve's heels and then split off from him in the other direction.
Okay. All right. So Heather / Robert is heading into the remaining bedroom. Looks somewhat similar to the one you saw earlier, desk, bed, textbooks. The textbooks seem more advanced. There are there's a big old pennant on the wall for Miskatonic University. And there's a young man lying in bed. And as you make your way closer, that knife Mrs. Kane had got some use in here too. Yeah, he's
Hey, oh,
gone.
Shit. All right. Well, there's one. Okay. So let's see. A actress, Kane, step guy, another step guy, Mrs. Kane. That's 6. And then Officer Steve. So either there's one more and Steve, or that's everybody. All right. Sorry. If I don't see anything else of note in the room, I'm going to just take off and I'm going to head downstairs after the other 2. I am going to go to the pantry because if there's another crazed, insane, lunatic guest there, our actress is probably going to need more help. So,
okay,
I'm going to check there first.
Okay. So the pantry / storage area. First thing I will say is that you find a refrigerator. You find a freezer in there that has has some chicken, has some beef, has, ordinary kinds of stuff. You get the feeling, this might have started out as a fairly normal dinner party before things went very bad. In the storage area, you're finding all kinds of random stuff. And you find a shotgun. Single barrel pump action, 2d6 damage, and a fistful of shells to go with it.
I am absolutely grabbing that. Hopefully it has a shoulder strap already on it, and I'm just gonna sling that.
Yep.
Also looking around the storage area, just anywhere I go, I'm also now kind of on the lookout for robes, because it came up, Officer Steve mentioned a bunch of people were all wearing robes, and none of us have been, and no one we've found has been. So I want to see if that's, again, trying to identify like what is real and what is not real and what we're remembering.
Yeah.
So
Okay. You're not finding robes in here, but it's good to know you're keeping an eye out.
yeah. And then I'll probably spin around and I assume kind of like cartoonishly run into Rob as I'm leaving and you're coming in.
You okay? I mean, did you find anything?
A really nice prime rib that I would have much preferred to have for dinner than whatever I don't want to think about us eating. And also a shotgun, which I will be hanging on to.
Great. More weaponry. There's one more upstairs.
Oh gosh.
But
Stab,
that brings
shot?
it to 6. That brings it to 7 if we include Officer Steve. If we don't include him and assume that Officer Steve showed up for some reason outside of all this, that means there's still one more. If we assume all 7 places at the table were taken.
Okay. Based on that notebook you found,
Mm-hmm.
there were 5 chanters. What do we want to call them? And there was
summoners, I think they
summoners,
called it.
and there was 1 sacrifice. So,
Right.
do we think Mark was the sacrifice since he
Or
was stabbed, or did one of us stab him when things went wrong?
the sacrifice had to be in the center of the summoning circle, which means it's probably still somewhere in the middle of that egg thing.
Okay, that's also
Which
a
brings
good
us
point.
to 7 and Officer Steve. So that means I think
Who called the
counts-
cops? If we're saying that Officer Steve wasn't involved in this in the beginning and just showed up because of something that happened, that means somebody still called the cops, right?
Or the cops were called for some reason.
And
Or
what about that weird letter and the photos?
oh wait.
Those were photos of Steve?
Okay, so 2 things.
Yes.
Kane
Number one,
called.
just to make sure that we're clear, what you saw in the notebook was Master Master loudly renounces thing most dear to him. Sorry, darling. So it doesn't explicitly say that you actually have to kill the thing most dear to you. So there are possibilities. Meanwhile, Rina's heading outside. You find
Yep.
the 5 nice neatly parked cars. You got a silver Porsche, a gray Mercedes, metallic blue Audi, black Mercedes, the red Maserati we were looking at before, and the police car that is askew in the middle of I was going to say the parking area, with the driver door hanging open.
Hey, first I find it a bit weird that I would leave my door open unless it was an emergency, like I rushed in and didn't have time to slam the door shut. So that's a little unsettling. But I'm gonna go carefully with my gun still out and try and call dispatch over the radio.
Okay, so you're climbing in, sitting in the driver's seat, you do notice that the key is still in the ignition. As you're sitting down, you also notice there's a small wooden box sitting on the passenger seat, and there's what looks like a scannable ID laying on the floor. If you take a look at the ID, the name on it is Stephen Jameson. The picture on it is not you.
Huh.
And as we've seen before, the battery in the car is also put.
I'm gonna pick that ID up and put it in my pocket because I don't want anybody else seeing that. And gonna clear the rest of the cars as well, make sure no one's hiding or there's no bodies sticking out of one of the cars or anything like that.
Okay. Leaving the box on the passenger seat alone, or are you checking that out as well? Or
I'll take that as well.
okay.
Touch the thing.
There is a stamp on the side of it. It seems to have been shipped to from, not clear, but Miskatonic U. The other cars, looking through the windows, you're not seeing much of anything. There's a little plastic crate in the back of the Maserati with what appears to be a collection of vintage game cartridges. As you're coming back to the police car, you do notice something dripping out of the trunk.
Wonder who that could be. Gonna go look in the trunk.
Yeah, he matches the ID,
Mm-hmm.
at least as well as you can tell, because looking at the body in the trunk and looking at the trunk, it's clear that after he was dumped in here, he was banging his head against the lid. Yeah, over and over and over and over and over again, as if he simply could not stop. So seeing that, you're gonna
Make a
roll me
sanity roll.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Somehow okay with this with a 19.
Okay. 1 point.
Mm-hmm. Well.
You'll also notice, of course, that he's dressed in his underwear because
I'm wearing his uniform.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Close the lid again.
quite fit you after all. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Close the lid again.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, nobody needs to know about this. It'll only upset the civilians, I say to myself.
Okay.
And I take the box back in the house.
Okay. So you probably meet back up probably around the hall.
I was gonna say, I think if possible, I wanted to go. I would run back to the office and grab that manila envelope again.
Okay.
And I'm gonna just dump it all out on the desk, and specifically looking for the letter to look at the letter again.
Mhm.
So I think that's where I am right now.
Fair enough. You should still have that in the chat if you need to go back and look at it again.
And I'm gonna head out the road. Yeah, I'm gonna head out the front door to see if I can find Officer Stevens, and as far as I know, and check out to see if anything's at the police vehicle.
Okay, Rina, did you take the key? And did you close the trunk?
Of course I closed the trunk. I don't want them seeing it.
Okay.
They don't need to know what I know. It might cause some tension,
Okay.
and then things are already tense.
All right, just making sure. And obviously you got the key because you unlocked the trunk. So yeah, Heather/Robert, you do see, unless Rina tells me that you took it with you, but I don't think you said so. Find the ID on the floor with the officer's name and somebody else's face.
I did
Yeah,
say I took that. I
Okay.
did say I put it in my pocket because
Okay.
I don't want them seeing it.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, they were very thorough in taking everything. So yes,
Disregard that. You do not see that.
I do not.
You do see the drip, drip, drip out of the now locked trunk.
So as I come out and I scan, and it's probably just after Officer Stevens has closed the trunk lid. Hey, did you find anything? And then I will see the blood underneath as they answer.
Yep, there's a dead guy in the trunk.
Another
It's
one?
kind of nasty. It's kind of nasty. I think we found our other missing person.
Well, found one upstairs. 2, 1, 2, 3. Well, okay, so then the other one didn't go into the egg. All right, that 7. Then you must have shown up.
Absolutely.
Have you found any? Have you found? Does your computer work? Your radio? Were
No,
you called
not-
here?
We're in some kind of dead zone. Like the radio's dead. Everything.
And there was nothing. As I kind of stick my head in through the open door and
Show the box.
oh, you found? What'd you find? Wow, what's that?
I would like to come running to the front door, holding this letter in my hand, and just yell, "You know what it is!"
Before I open it. What?
Point at Officer Steve. I don't know what he knows, but he knows what it is.
What is it?
This letter. If this letter is right, and all of these photos are of you, then you know what that thing in the backyard is.
I don't.
Well, you did at one point.
I don't know anything at all. All I know is, and I know in air quotes, is that it's going to devour the world, apparently.
Well, somebody who was very invested in this stuff knew what it was and was being followed by Saul or something. He was having somebody follow them, and it looks like it was you, unless you just, I don't know, happen to be in the same place as a bunch of other people who were being followed by him.
So what? You're saying what? That he is.
She thinks that I know something about the thing in the backyard, but I don't know anything because I don't know anything at all.
We have to find a way to make somebody remember, because somebody knows. I'm just frantically shaking this letter.
We seem to remember things when we hear that noise, and the noise is coming from the thing in the back. So maybe if we go back to the thing and then be close to the noise, we'll remember something. I don't know. Just a guess.
And because this is the type of game it is. But what's in the box as I go and open the lid?
Okay. All right.
Because someone's got to do it.
Yep. So
what's in the box?
So again, the box is stamped for delivery to from. It's not clear. Miskatonic, you inside you find a little tin of silvery powder. There's a like artifact label attached to it that just says Ibn Ghazi. And you also find a piece of paper. You find a note in there, which I will go ahead and drop into chat and share with audience if I can find it.
I find all the paperwork. I love this. Okay. Banish the Eater of Worlds. This ritual was sent to me. Wow, this handwriting is interesting. Was sent to me in a dream by he who strays at the threshold.
And a name.
And our terror key and fate of the 7 horizons. It blows up. It can only be used while the Eater of Worlds, the ravenous god thing, is still within the confines of the summoning circles. Once it traverses the last circle, all hope is lost. Each caster shall take a tip of the pentagram. The casters must show strength of purpose and not waver. With arms outstretched, all participants shall chant in unison. The chant begins with palms facing upward. Upon the first syllable, upon the second syllable, turn palms to face the god thing. On the third, rotate palms downward. By the fourth syllable, cross arms upon thy chest. The sequence of gestures shall be meticulously repeated for each subsequent syllable. Oh, yikes. Repeat the chant. With each new repetition of the chant, return to the commencement posture with palms turned towards the heavens. The chanting shall persist without pause until the god thing leaves. Let your resolve be unyielding in the service of humankind. Falter not, humankind. Falter not at the first sign of hardship. Avert thine eyes from the formidable presence of the god thing. The words of the chant are, of course, completely ripped off, because what plot would allow you to actually have the words? Klaatu Baratan. God, I hate when they do this.
I know a chant. I remember a chant. I was reading it on a piece of paper. I don't have the piece of paper, but I think I remember what the chant was. Could that be it?
You can at least call forth in your mind the shape of the piece of paper, and it certainly looks like what's ripped off of here. Yeah.
I think I know what it is. I think.
Yes, but there are only 3 of us. There needs to be 5.
This one doesn't say 5. It just said that we have to be at the points.
There's 5 points, though, right?
Yes, but does it say all of them have to be filled?
That's a point. She has a point.
I really don't think Mrs. Kane is going to be of any help.
No, and the others are dead. So
if everybody can roll occult for me.
Cult. Oh, don't think I.
Do
I
got a little bit.
I got lots of occult. I got lots of occult.
Of course you.
I rolled a hard success with a 30 under 60.
Okay.
Not a clue.
You don't remember all the details, but you do remember that basically this ritual works best with 5, but with fewer it could maybe still work.
I think we can make it work. I don't know why I know this, but I think 3 of us should be enough if we're really intent about it, which I think we fucking are. So It would be easier if we had 5, but I think we can do it.
Well, then why are we still standing here?
And I think with that, you're dashing back up the hill.
I am.
Unfortunately, yes.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, there is another blinding red flash as you're running up the hill. I will freely admit I've lost count, but when you get there, the thing has expanded to the second largest ring. So there's one more ring, one more outside circle.
I think we've had four flashes.
Yeah, because we had 3 that gave us stuff, and a 4th one that didn't give us another memory.
Yeah.
So before.
So that takes us to, so it started at 1, so 2, 3, 5, 8. So it should be, and the biggest one is 13 feet.
Yeah. So it's now or never. Okay.
All right. Steven, what's this chant?
Wait, everyone get to a point and then. Yeah.
Do the thing.
So we have to just with the hands, because the hands have to be done too. So we have to stretch out our arms and chant in unison. The palms face upwards on the first syllable. They go up to it, down, and cross. Up, there, down, and cross as we do the chant. Every syllable we have to do it in order. So
as you've been putting all these pieces together, and particularly with the box, Rina, a little bit more comes back to you.
Okay.
Yeah. You already kind of figured out what your revelation is telling you, but seems only fair to.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to be a contested POW roll. So whoever has the highest POW is going to be rolling against the god thing. And if you have somebody else helping, you can get a bonus die.
Well, I have a 60.
I have a 60 in POW as well.
I have a 70.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Or in this case, we all might be cooked. But I'll help.
I'll help.
And so for bonus die, remind me how this is going to work for Cthulhu. Okay, great. Just confirming.
Yeah.
All right. We start chanting.
When the hands. Is that the opposite of jazz hands?
That is a 22 under 70.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
So that is a hard success.
Nice.
Yeah. So you can definitely feel energy swelling around you. The god thing also got a hard success, so you're tied for the moment. So you
Spend the luck. Spend the luck.
I do have a lot of luck left.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Yeah. So
how much would I need to spend to overcome this thing?
Okay, you were rolling
for this roll at least.
Okay, remind me what you had.
I rolled a 22 under 70.
Okay. If you look closely at your character sheet, it should have the number and then half the number and then a fifth of the number.
Yes. So
So you need to get to the
it's-
fifth.
great. Let me math really quick. 22. Yeah, I can spend 8 points of luck to get to a 14.
Okay, fair
I got
enough.
luck to burn.
Okay, so there's a moment where you're not entirely sure, but you lean back into it, and the god thing shrinks one circle, shrinks to the 5 foot.
Great.
You're hearing that chuckling again from over here, from over there. And
Does anybody else hear that? I don't know if I ask because I don't think I want to break the chant, but I'm going to kind of glance around and try to catch their eye and kind of like see if they're reacting to anything.
Yeah.
As I
Do we hear
going.
it?
You do. Isolated from different directions. So if it's not just like an illusion, something is certainly not standing still.
Okay.
Have something's
Well,
attention.
I'm going to keep doing the chant and the hand motions and everything else. So I'm not breaking it. Not yet.
So we try another round and see how this goes.
That is an 3.
Okay.
And that was without even rolling the advantage. That was the first roll.
Okay. The god thing is not having a good day. You squish it down. It's now at 2 feet. You are getting awfully close. Meanwhile, I hate to do this, but yeah, so Rina / Henry, I rolled a D3, so picking on you. You're focusing on the chant, getting the gestures right, getting the words right, and there is a searing pain in your chest. You don't see anything coming, so there's no dodge or anything. It just happens. Emma and Robert, you see this wound out of nowhere, and then Henry is being lifted up into the air, and rather than like pouring out and dripping to the ground, the blood that's gushing from this wound is moving out through the air in almost lines. They're branching and slowly gives shape to, I'm going to be very, very, very understated here and say it kind of looks like a jellyfish. So you got the main body and then you've got the tendrils. In this case, number one, it is in midair. Number two, the tendrils are tentacles streaming out behind it. And number three, the main body is about 2 feet across and basically one big toothy maw.
Henry is screaming.
Don't blame you. So what would you like to do?
Do I roll sanity?
Do we all roll sanity?
Yeah, I think that's
Seeing
yeah.
this?
Yeah.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
92.
55 on 69.
76 on 45.
Okay. So sounds like Emma succeeded.
I'm having a weirdly good day despite everything.
You're focused on other things.
Yeah.
Things you're supposed to be focused on.
So you're losing 1 point of sanity. Henry and Robert, roll me a d10.
Go on.
I mean, appropriate.
Appropriate, but ow.
10.
The dice tell the story, I guess. Damn.
I mean, it's entirely appropriate for what's happening in this moment, so I'm not complaining.
9.
Sorry, Emma.
If I didn't want to not break these hand motions, I'd shoot it with my shotgun, but it feels like the hand motions might be more important.
Okay, so
That was easily a fifth of what I had left right there in one shot.
this is basically what happened to Mrs. Kane earlier. So it could be a whole lot worse. So we have 2 bouts of madness, which in this case is just a straight D3, fight, flight, or freeze. And I've got for actually no, I'm going to invite you to make that roll. It's just a straight D3.
One.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Henry is compelled to attack,
Mhm.
which kind of makes sense. Self-defense and all. Robert is driven to get the bleep out of Dodge.
That was a big ass nope. I'm done. I'm out. I'm out. Peace.
Nope, 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 nope,
Nope, nope, nope, nope, nope, nope, nope, nope.
Where are you both going? I scream internally.
I mean, Henry's not going anywhere. Henry's here. It's Robert that's running away.
Okay. So, Emma, you still have, unless Henry's got his gun ready to go, Emma still has the highest dex. So, are you still chanting? Are you?
I think I think I have to keep chanting. I think it's not worth breaking the rhythm to get either of my weapons out.
Okay. All right. So you are making a straight roll. Nobody's helping you, so you don't get the advantage.
Which is unfortunate because this is now a 91 over my 70.
Rina, that thing you were saying about the dice tell a story.
Yep. That was Alandra.
It's a 1.
No.
Sometimes the thing gets the upper hand when everyone gets distracted by blood jellyfish. So,
Yeah. Okay.
We're so close.
Yeah, I
We're
think you're
so
back where
close.
well, that's what the I wonder. Tell me again, what did you roll and what was the target?
my power is a 70 and I rolled a 91.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So it's not a fumble.
No, it's not a fumble. It's just not good.
Yeah. Yeah. So you are back where you started, the second largest circle. desperately trying to hold your ground. Henry, what would you like to do as you're being held by this thing and held in its jaws?
Pull my gun and start shooting it.
Fair enough.
All Henry can think is fuck, 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 fuck. No, you motherfucker. Sorry for the language. But that is literally what is going through his mind right now. So pull and shoot.
Absolutely makes sense to me.
Okay, what is my... All right, my firearms isn't too bad for a fake cop. All right, and that is an 18 under 55.
Okay, so that's a hard success. So go ahead and roll your
So
damage.
D10 plus 1. D10 plus 1, so 8 plus 1 is 9.
Okay. Wow. All right.
Henry is screaming profanities.
I don't blame. Okay. Yeah. I certainly did not see that coming. The scream that comes out of this thing is absolutely horrific all in itself. It's going to drop you and it's going to book it out of here. Robert, give me a luck.
All right, Robert.
Do I have to? Oh, okay. Luck is at 47, so there's still a chance. And I said there was a chance. That's a 72. Robert has no luck.
Oof. Yeah, okay. I think you are both fleeing in the same direction. I think we can possibly take a guess about how that might turn out. So I guess the question is as Henry lands on the ground, is Henry together enough to try to continue the chanting or not? I'll leave that up entirely to you.
Okay, I'm gonna make a power roll for him to see if he snaps enough. And I passed my power roll, so I think he does, like, is in the middle of a profanity, shakes his head as he lands on the ground and goes, fuck. And then just starts chanting again, picking up with Emma where Emma is.
Okay. All right. So you do have help. So you do have advantage, as it were, on the roll.
Beautiful. I rolled a 31 under my 70. I'm going to look really quick to see if I have enough luck to risk burning to bring that down anymore. Because, fate of the world's at stake. I can burn some luck. Yeah, screw it. I'm gonna burn 17 luck to take that down to a 14 again. We're getting spicy here.
Yeah.
I'm real mad at this thing.
And we are back to the the god thing rolling abysmally. It rolls with advantage when it's this close to achieving its ends. That's an 88 and an 89. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so it's pushed out. You're pushing it back in again. Currently at the 3-foot mark. I think we will come back to Robert depending on how this turns out, because it may or may not be relevant. So gonna go ahead and keep working on how this.
Rolling again
Yep.
with advantage because I've got Henry back in the game. That is a 13 under 70, which
Woo.
is under my threshold. So
Okay. Yeah. So that first little circle where you originally found it, it is back there. It is flickering, flashing. It's not entirely clear how you can read that a translucent, otherworldly egg thing is cranky, but yeah, it is not a happy god thing.
well, we'll see if it can pull it back around this time then. Hey.
Yeah. So it's got a regular success this time, and you had a hard.
Yes. And it is now grumpy.
So yeah, in this last moment, and it is flashing and writhing, and the limbs or levers or whatever it is inside are fighting for all their worth. Yeah, you're shrinking it down to nothing, and you were standing alone in the chill air on the ritual circle. Well, alone aside from the dead body that's still laying here, but what are you going to do? And I think I'm going to say that the creature is still visible. Robert sees it coming, charging, mouth wide, and it dissipates like smoke at the last minute. Y'all have defeated the god thing and saved the world, which pretty impressive. Now, ordinarily we would end with an epilogue, what happens to these characters next. I am curious, but I think it might be more appropriate for this scenario to end with a prologue. So a few months ago, Saul Kane moved into this beautiful house, found this ritual circle out back. He's not into occult stuff. He doesn't believe in this stuff, but he's a horror writer. He has a massive library. He knew what it was and recognized some of the symbology to one of the rarer books in his collection. And so when it was time to have a party to celebrate with his friends the release of the game they've been working on, he decided, you know what, yeah, just as a lark, this stuff isn't real, but it'll be fine, it'll be fun. Meanwhile, a professor at Miskatonic University who's been doing a whole lot of deep research into the occult and cults and breaking up one particularly nasty cult in particular, heard about this upcoming ritual and was hounding Kane, trying to get him to call it off. Don't do it. You don't know what you're messing with. And Kane wasn't listening. Finally, Henry headed it here to the house himself. He had explosive materials in his car, hoping to, destroy the house, distract these people, just get it over with. And he was a little bit too enthusiastic, got pulled over for speeding. And given the choice between, going, doing as the cop asked him to do and letting the world come to an end, yeah, he locked the cop in the trunk and came out, and ended up shooting Mr. Kane in the head, right toward the peak of the ritual. Sadly, it was a little bit too close to the end, and that first pulse, some people ran, some people froze. Emma grabbed a knife and went after your artist friend. So I think that is going to bring us to the end of Kane's tome. Kane's tone. I keep wanting to call it a tome. It's not that kind of scenario. So let's go around the ring one more time. Who are you? Where can people find you? And since we weren't able to tell them up front, who were you playing today? And who or what did they think they were? Let's go backwards this time. So we'll start with Heather.
I'm trying to wrap my head around all of this. I am Heather Ashcraft. I am known as ValyGirl Heather on all the socials. Today I was playing, I'm guessing, Robert Green. Rob. Looks like I am an immersive, full sensory game. I am a game designer, absolute geek, which, gee, I feel kind of typecast. But that's okay. I'm all right with that. I honestly wasn't sure. I mean, I knew they were a geek of some kind, and from the beginning, really got the information from the very first thought echo that game design or definitely a gamer, but definitely probably game design was in the works. So I was pretty sure I was that all the way through. And I guess for the longest time, I almost kind of wished I was in the game, because I think that could have been fun to play with.
Yep.
But in the end, I guess going mad or somewhat mad is, I guess, saving the world, trade off. So, but yeah, if anyone's looking for me, actual play actor, actual TTRPG and live action designer and writer and all the fun stuff. Yeah, I'm kind of all over the place with that. So you can find me pretty much on the socials under ValyGirl Heather or ValyGirl Designs. And I'm in several actual plays right now on various channels. So look me forward here at the Playhouse. I'm prepping one and have a couple coming up, and especially one in March that is going to be really amazing on the 8th of March. Please mark your calendars for that. I cannot wait. That's going to be a big one. But look for me on Symphony Entertainment. Look for me on Old Ways Podcast here at the Playhouse, and of course on Lightless Beacons, where tomorrow I am starting as in my first keeper role there, and I'm going to be we're going to start recording for the first game session of season 3, which won't be coming out for a few months, but that will be Slow Boat to China. I am bringing Pulp Cthulhu to it, so I am very excited.
I will note, by the way, that had this turned into PvP, officially the trigger that gives Robert his memory back is when his invulnerability mode doesn't work.
Yeah, but it was for just a moment there. It was fun to think that I had that.
Oh, yeah.
Very Doom-like, the flash of the glow, the gold eyes and everything else. So It was nice.
So Alandra.
Hello, I am Alandra, aka Lady Bedivere. You can find me at Lady Bedivere on all the social sites. I am a GM, a performer, and sometimes game designer as well. I was playing Emma Jones, who, according to all of my memories that I had through the first half of the game, was some sort of killer alien or robot. I was not fully clear, but all of my directives were to observe, identify weaknesses, separate them from each other, eliminate them one at a time, and not be discovered in the process. I made the based on my character model decision to play it off that I was masquerading as the scream queen actress type. I also had an acting score on my initial character sheet that I was given. So I was like, great, this seems like what an otherworld entity that doesn't want to get caught would, being a little bit of a like bimbo airhead would kind of work, or damsel in distress might work. And that was too genre savvy of a guess because I was in fact the actress who played the killer robot character. But it did make for a very fun um way of tying everything together because I definitely like all of my information that I got was like directive 1, kill all humans. Directive 2, do not get scared. And I'm like, I don't know what to do with this as a player. Like, so it was a fun challenge. And also speaks to my personal level of I'm really good at playing social deduction games in person, but I hate doing them digitally. Like Among Us, not my jam. Very good at Mafia around the campfire though. But yeah, it was really fun. Upcoming, you can find me on Meme of the Month over on Majestic Goose Network next month with our traditional Valentine's Day Thirsty Sword Lesbians game. You can also find me over on Quests and Chaos pretty regularly. I have an ongoing game of Keys from the Golden Vault that has a large backlog you can watch, as well as popping up in various other things. And I'm always looking for more opportunities to play, to run games, and to edit podcasts for people. So look me up if you're interested.
Just, I don't usually go into if you had done this, but
No.
somewhere in the office in that huge walls of books, you would have found a copy of the novel that the game is based on. But reading the blurb on the cover would have told you a little bit more about where Emma thought she was from.
Interesting. That's very fun. I like how many things in this were kind of hidden around for us to potentially find, just depending on how we decided to investigate.
Yeah. And Rina.
Hey, I've been Rina, pronouns they, them. And for part of the game, I thought I was playing Officer Stephen Jameson, but I was actually playing, as we figured out, Dr. Henry Watson, archaeology professor or assistant professor, but we'll leave out the assistant bit because it sounds better. And I had to just try and save the world. That was my mission the entire time. That would explain why I knew all those weird little nerdy references I kept making, even when I thought I shouldn't be able to make those references, because I just know things. I'm a nerd in a suit with elbow patches. So that was Henry, and surprisingly good handgun skill for a professor. But when you got to save the world, you got to save the world, and sometimes that requires shooting things. I can be found on the Old Ways podcast, where I am the head of Mythos Horror. I run Call of Cthulhu, Cthulhu Dark, and all sorts of other tentacular goodness. We have some very special things coming up in 2025, so I hope you'll tune in. You can also find me on 8 Slayed Nobody in the Down Darker Trails campaign, Bleaker Trails, where I play Patience Cartwright, the gender-fluid gunslinger, and I'm also on a bunch of one-shots and other things over there. I pop up in other places occasionally, including How We Roll, obviously here on the Miskatonic Playhouse and Symphony Entertainment. You can find me on Discord as the Inevitable Rina, because I am indeed everywhere. And you can find all of my scenarios on DriveThruRPG. I have 9 Call of Cthulhu scenarios, including the gold bestseller, Saturday the 14th, which was done here on the Playhouse and was absolutely marvelous. But you can reach out to me about gaming, about cats, gay jokes, Star Trek Deep Space Nine, all sorts of wonderful things.
Wonderful. But by the way, I just want to say, think about all of the scenarios we've had about professors from Miskatonic University. I don't think I've ever run into one who was dismissed from Miskatonic University for getting too deep into cults.
Hey, it's a distinction Henry bears with pride.
Exactly. And I'm Steve Anderson. You can find me on the socials at Tall Halfling, sometimes Tall Halfling RPG. And I was pretending to play a benevolent god. You can find me here at the Playhouse, usually over there as a player, sometimes backstage doing video production, podcast editing, that kind of stuff. But tonight I've been your keeper and delighted to do it. So thank you all for joining. Thank you for playing. Thank you for taking a leap of faith. My first time in this seat over here at the Playhouse. And to our audience, thank you for tuning in. Thanks for watching. And until the curtain rises again, keep an ear out for chuckling in the dark.
Bye, everybody.